Greetings and salutations, all ye faithful Gentiles of the 700 Golden Draft. This is your friend and compatriot Milanjeftic 1992 here, sitting home alone, talking to Blue Dragon 5. By the way, say hello, Blue Dragon 5.
Hello, everyone.
And today we are going to be reviewing the latest Disney masterpiece of family entertainment, Frozen. Yes.
Always cool. Pun intended.
Oh, pun intended, indeed, indeed. First, I just like to. You want to start out with something?
Well, Milan, why don't you give us a quick non-spoiler review, like a 2-minute non-spoiler review?
Let's see. For all those out there who've been hesitant on going to see this film, don't pay attention to the horrible ad campaign, because the ads, the trailers for this movie make it seem like one of those weird, awkward Disney trying to be, DreamWorks affairs, but it really isn't. It's classic Disney, but it takes the formula that Disney's been getting, kind of abused on by, made fun of by in recent days, the whole princesses and princes, the whole cliche there, and it kind of not subverts it. It essentially, it's an evolution in Disney storytelling, as it were. And just for all those out there, it's essentially a love story between two women, between two sisters. Don't get any naughty ideas, all you filthy, filthy people. It's really a love between two sisters, and it's interesting because we've been getting a lot of these different perspective, like slightly different princess movies. Because with Brave, you had a love between a mother and a daughter, and for as far as I know, that's the first time a mother wasn't axed off before the girl is 18 or something like that. This is mainly focusing on the relationship between the mother and the daughter, but this is focus between the two sister dynamic, and it's a delightful movie. It looks gorgeous. The songs are frickin-tastic and will stay in your head for hours and weeks on end, but in the best way possible, not in the cheap sleazy way most pop songs do nowadays. In the kind of classy way that classic music stays in your head. But yeah, that's as much as non-spoiler as I can go.
Yeah, it's true to the Walt Disney philosophy. For every laugh, there should be a tear shed. It's good family fun, very strong themes.
Oh yeah, some of these just it's this like this is we're gonna start going in depth here, so be warned.
Could you hold that thought for one moment? I just want to say what our thoughts were going into this.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, going into this, I was coming off of Wreck-It Ralph. We both were. And, what I heard about, what this movie's going to be is, like, tossed around for a while, the Snow Queen project. I heard it was basically a fantasy adventure, and the teaser of this, well, the teaser didn't, as you mentioned, the advertising didn't really serve this film that well. But it was, the two comical sidekicks, getting into an altercation together. Which I thought was good in test animation. It was kind of fun, showcase them, but didn't really tell you much about the film. Then again, it's a teaser. So either way, I kind of feared an uneven balance of comedy over the drama, which, that could hurt the piece. And I really didn't expect a musical at all going into this. I heard people suddenly say, well, it's a musical, watching like some non-spoiler reviews going into this. I was like, wow, well, so they're kind of going back to the Renaissance thing. Let's see how that plays out.
With me, I was interested, vaguely because it was, an adaptation of Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen, one of my favorite fairy tales ever, and, well, one of the fairy tales that is really quite big in Russia, for whatever reason. And I thought I seen like the ad, and the snowman was there, Olaf the snowman was there playing with the reindeer. Like you said, it didn't give you, it just seemed like a nothing serious, nothing to pay attention to, like just a kid's film. And what really got me interested in this film is essentially both your recommendation, Blue Dragon 5, and Movie Bob's recommendation for this movie. And it just, this combined interest of you two people kind of made me think, I think I'll check this out. These people say it's good, and, I'll give it a shot. And I did. And it was I'm really glad I did. I came out of the movie with a smile on my face and a song in my heart. And I know that's lame and whatever, but I'm still slightly hungover, so, yeah, New Year's Day has been gone for a while, but my head still splits open with noises. But anyway, yes, I mean, this was a good movie.
I have some interesting background if you'd like to hear it.
Oh, I'd love to.
Well, did you know this was in development since the 40s by Walt Disney himself?
Yes, I've heard. He always wanted to adapt the Snow Queen, but allegedly he couldn't make it work narrative-wise. He tried his best, but he just wasn't feeling it. It's one of those projects that has been in the
development heck.
In development hell, yeah.
Yeah. It's been in there for a long time. Even actually, Michael Eisner, he suggested, he didn't really force anyone to do it. He just kind of suggested, why don't you have the Pixar crew take this film for a while. It was going back and forth, and it really picked up steam after, due to two things. After Tangled came out, and that kind of reinvigorated the whole idea of making a classic, true-to-form Disney film. And also director Chris Buck, who directed this piece, he really he pushed for this film to get made. The main flaw with the story, as you mentioned with Disney, way back in the day, it still remained, and that main problem was with the Snow Queen herself. It's kind of hard because she's a big focal point of the story.
Yes, it's funny because in the original Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, the Snow Queen is the villain of the story. Essentially, just a quick little rundown of the original fairy tale. Essentially, there were two kids who were great friends. The boy's father and mother died. The girl's grandmother took him in, and they became like brother and sister. They were both really kind people, loved each other a lot. But long story short, the boy gets a little shard of ice in his heart and becomes cruel and mean, and the Snow Queen spirits him away. And essentially, the whole story was going to be the whole story is I forget the name of the girl, not Gretel. The girl essentially goes on an epic quest to find her quote unquote brother and save him from the Snow Queen. And it had some potential. You could make a movie out of this. The Russians. There's a lot of Russian, animated adaptations of this fairy tale, a live action adaptation, which I, both love. But when I heard this was, had some association with that fairy tale, I'm like, how would Disney go about this thing? It seemed fascinating to me.
Well, what kind of bailed this movie out of development heck? The thing that really got it back in motion, along with, as I mentioned, John Lasseter actually was kind of a saving grace for this film because he said, they were working on the film, and like the previous incarnations that were in development, it kind of faced that problem because the Snow Queen character wasn't quite jiving well enough. Because she is kind of a big part, and it's like kind of making her a little more likable, just to kind of make her like a really interesting villain. So John Lasseter kind of said for all the characters, he said, you need to round out the characters, make them a little more three-dimensional to connect to an audience, and they did, and that resulted in the change, making the Snow Queen sisters with the female protagonist, which was I thought that was really interesting. It really benefited the film. Also, they took research trips because animators, they love to do their research. I took a research trip to the Ice Hotel in Canada, and also brought a reindeer into the studio, kind of like what they did with Bambi way back in the day. Pushing for believability.
Totally. And I like how they made Anna and her sister. Like me being from the Eastern European sex of the world, I can tell. Like whenever Anna smiles, her eyes kind of crinkle up, and her cheeks and nose. She looks really of that area. Some Russian girls have that type of that type of face. Those type of facial expressions, the way they walk and the way they shaped, they certainly have an Eastern European vibe to them, like as girls go, like as character models go, and facial expression. And I do appreciate that level of detail, because yeah.
Yeah, they also gave it kind of a Norway Scandinavian influence.
Oh yes, because this is like it's funny because they don't really specify what kingdom this is, but it's like Poland-ish kingdom.
They say it's Arendal, but
it's somewhere in the north where it's cold.
Yeah, of course we had that great opening scene. It's actually inspired by, I believe, a Norwegian song, if I'm right. Just kind of the ice, it's Frozen Heart. That's the name of the song. Just all the guys. You see the process of fishing ice.
Mm-mm. I love that, and it's funny because it didn't. It seems like it came out of nowhere. Well, it had served no purpose, and instead of just introducing the main one of the main male protagonists, and yeah, it's an alright song. I quite liked it.
It kind of might just be with the title of the song, but I think got a little bit of in the lyrics. But it kind of foreshadows a major plot point in the third act, just the whole Frozen Heart notion.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Yeah.
Also, you got a nice, visual representation of ice right off the bat for a movie called Frozen. It looked kind of nice. It's kind of a 3D moment where the saw is coming at you through the ice.
Oh yeah, that's really good. Like I saw this movie in 3D, and when I saw like that first saw breaking the ice, I actually jumped. I'm like, whoa, that's good 3D.
Yeah.
This movie looked good in 3D.
Well, since you brought her up, can we talk about Anna for a moment?
Sure.
Yeah, Anna is voiced by the absolutely wonderful and gorgeous Kirsten Bell. I mean, she brings such a pleasantness and a very human quality to this character. It's really realistic. I mean, she's unaware of what love is, due to being, it's logical. It's due to being alone for so many years. She's seeking companionship.
Yes, that's true, but it's funny because they kind of play with that whole Disney princess dynamic of just like, oh, she meets a boy and she doesn't even know his last name, or and so they're gonna get married, and I like how
of the Southern Isles.
Of the Southern Isles, I love her. She's just so delightful, and the thing one nitpick that I have for this film, one little nitpick is the trolls.
Really?
They look just they look like DreamWorks, something DreamWorks would come up with, because they don't look Disney. They looked cute and all that, but their animation was fine, but they looked, the character design was just, they all looked the same, and it looked, I didn't like it. Yeah. I
love their I like the way they're animated, and I love how kind of they're rocks and they kind of unfolded into people and had the moss designs and stuff. I thought that was cool. And Graham Pabble was a nice character, I thought, because of that thing in the opening where he should we get into the opening?
Sure.
Okay. Well, this film. The film opens with, we get young Elsa and Anna. They're playing. They're acting like real sisters. They say you want to build a snowman. There's this. You want
to build a snowman.
We'll get to that in a moment. But there's this really traumatic freezing event that happens, and oh man, that's when I knew this film was good. They're having this fun, snowy, winter-filled time in this giant hall, making snow mounds, and she falls, and then she's caught mid-air, she's nicked as it saves her by an ice blast by Elsa, who eventually becomes Snow Queen. And it's just kind of oh no, it's bad. And then the parents take her to the rock trolls. And the rock trolls, what Graham Pabble, the head rock troll, the healer, these guys are magical healers, these rock trolls. And what's also funny is that it inadvertently, it kind of fates these two characters together, Kristoff and Anna, because, the ice thing interests Kristoff, and they're followed down the path and they end up there, and he's raised by these guys. So it's they're almost kind of fated to be together in a way.
Mm.
And so basically, he heals Anna and says, they set up the thing that your damage to the head can be fixed, just damage to the heart's really irreversible. And what's great about that, I love the little detail I really loved about Graham Pabble, what he did there, was that he removed, he basically fixed her head, but he kept the fun in there. He took away the memory of the powers. He said, keeping the fun, keeping the happiness. That's such a great quality. That's a little different than the Disney form. At points in this film, they either break or poke fun at the classic Disney form, again, with the whole, you don't even know his last name. You fell in love with him after one date? That whole thing. And this is a thing would usually be oh, but you can never see your mother again, baby, that sort of thing. And they gave it a little happy beat. They're still together, but still, Elsa is deeply affected by this event, and we see through a wonderful song, "Do you want to build a snowman?" We see the sad crossroads starting, and it starts out fun, like, "Hey, you want to build a snowman?" But go away, Elsa. Okay, bye. It ends so sad.
Yeah.
Then we get this really chilling. This really just sends a chill up my spine when I was seeing it in the theater, just kind of thinking about it. We get this really realistic loss of the parents at sea. What all these songs do wonderfully is that I think they achieve something some of the past Disney films haven't achieved to this level. They really move the plot forward. They move it forward extremely well. They're really, through the course of the song, there are 3 really telling shots in that song. There's really so great. After the loss of the parents, again, dramatic scene. It's right after this.
Yeah, it's great, and you understand why it had to happen, because it's so quick, and it's like, oh, we'll be right back, and then just how the wave just swallowed the ship. It was just so quick, and just like that's sad.
Please go ahead.
Like how they died, people might say was a little bit gimmicky because you need the parents out of the way for the whole relationship to work and whatever. But I didn't think so. I think of course the parents had to die, and what really made it is how Elsa and her sister, Elsa and Anna, reacted to this. And so Anna's like at the front door of Elsa's room, she's like, "Come outside, come on, just for this once, just come out."
Yeah.
To attend the funeral. And you see Elsa, she's like inside her room, and it's just icicles everywhere. It's like there's been like an ice explosion there, and she's like sitting in the middle of it. Like it's really poignant, and it's like, do you wanna, like, Anna's like, "Come on outside," and she's singing this, "Do you wanna build a snowman?" And just at the end of the song, and it's so touching. That's the thing. This is a love between 2 sisters, and it's lovely.
I'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Christopher Beck, he does the score for this film, and it's wonderfully done. You got a lot of wonderful compositions of music. And you got the songwriters of Frozen, the married songwriting team, Robert and Kirsten Lopez. The songwriters did an outstanding job.
They did a fantastic job.
Yeah, these songs they're what I like. They're like what I like to call melodically pleasing.
Oh yeah, I mean, isn't the girl who played Elsa the same lady who played the Wicked Witch in Wicked?
Yes, that's Indina Menzel. She's a Broadway actress also. Yeah, she does. She has great work in this. I mean, she's not a villain, yet she's very sympathetic. It's like this loss of happiness is deeply affected her, and she's very afraid of her power. And a scene I really like, it's in the song. Maurice LaMarche, talented voice actor who voices the king. It was very few lines, but very poignant lines. And he's kind of this guy who's this. It's a small role, but it's present. He's like this loving, responsible father. You can clearly see he's in a situation with his daughter. He doesn't know how to handle this situation. He's like, telling her wear these gloves. Be fine. I'll say it's the whole, then the loss, and then those 3 poignant shots of the veil. It sounds silly, but there's this. After the loss of the parents, you see the portrait being covered up, and it's not so much just a black cloth; it's a veil. So it's like their shadow is slowly fading away. And then the other, as you mentioned, Milan, the 2 other things, like she kind of almost for a moment hesitates as she knocks on the door, and of course the shot of Elsa has been trained by her father to bottle up this emotion. And
because that's healthy, yeah.
And to bottle up this emotion because it's such power, and again, he doesn't know how to handle it either. He doesn't wants her to conceal, don't feel, and it just
yes. The whole arc with Elsa is that through the half, essentially things go wrong. Elsa tries to get Elsa's blessing because she meets this boy, but she barely knows, and she wants to get married. Yeah, Hans. She wants to get married to Hans, and Elsa's like, you can't marry him. You don't even know who this guy is. You don't even know his last name. Just like, and the cute joke of the Isles, that really sweet joke. But it's it's great. I mean, she has a point. Like she's kind of confronting that whole Disney stereotype of like the girl gets married to the guy like just after they just met. And she's like, she's bringing that up. She's like, you can't marry this guy. You don't know who this guy is. And as we find out, spoiler alert, Hans isn't exactly a very nice guy, as it were. Yeah. But, I mean, it's
He's an evil SOB, that's what he is.
An evil, power-hungry son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But after that really poignant moment from Do You Want to Build with Snow, after that whole she's unleashed her power because she just can't bottle in the sadness of her parents dying. And just like the room is frozen, just like dying. That's the other side of that door just darkens, and it's a beautiful. It's a gorgeous shot, by the way. But after that, we have the mood lightning with the coronation day, as you mentioned. Then my favorite song happens for the first time in forever. I love the song. It's so hopeful, and there's this wonderful musical build to it, which a lot of songs do have. There's kind of it's like paralleled in the song with her Anna's longing for this love and to compensate the lack of companionship over the years and its build of love and hope. Yet Elsa's hope is more like fear based. Like I hope I don't unleash my power or anything. I hope this goes well. They're opening the gates after such a long time because Elsa they don't want to let anyone in because of this.
Yeah, Elsa's just freaking out. She's like, "Okay, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Don't freeze anybody. Just keep it in. Don't lose control." And she does, and that's what makes that's what causes her to freak out and essentially envelop the kingdom in an everlasting winter. And at this point, I was like, are they going to actually make her into the Snow Queen? Is there going to be a sad and tragic ending? And like throughout this, Elsa's arc, like I love that song "Let It Go," and like how she builds her snow castle, and essentially, Elsa is kind of trapped in adolescence, and the way she acts before she escapes, well, not escapes, but leaves home, is just kind of really reserved, kind of nervous, kind of not just kind of really reserved, really not fidgety, but kind of really, what I just mentioned. But when she she's really reserved. But when she finally, lets it all go, as it were, it's I like her transformation because that singing voice is great. I mean, it's just such bravado, such range. Jeez.
All the actors do their own singing. A lot of them are Broadway trained, like Santino Fontana. He does the singing voice for Hans, and he does the voice also. He does a great job as well as everyone. Even Josh Gad sings.
Oh yeah. But it's like, I liked when she finally lets it all go and becomes, quote unquote, the Snow Queen. She lets her hair down. There's a bit of a slit in her dress. She has a bit more wiggle to her walk. She's a bit more calm, and like she's what's the right word I'm looking for?
She's unleashed. I mean,
unleashed. Yeah,
this is what's called in the musical world a showstopper. I mean, I gotta say, this is the best looking scene in the entire film.
It's gorgeous.
It's so, I love it. Just in the theater, I was like almost like pumping my fist in the air because I'm just loving it because we have this tortured, closed off character who's been kept down over the years, and she's been holding this in, and she gets a chance to release, be free. They have this wonderful setup that keeps playing throughout the film. In the beginning, with the Rock Grandpa Boy, he has this little magic show where he mentions, ice can be a beautiful thing, but can also be a dangerous thing. Things go red when it's all dangerous, but then, white and blue and beautiful. And that's what this show showcases. It shows that, she's doing beautiful things. She's been kept up, and we're seeing the positive thing, what she can do with her powers. And that's going to come into play at the very end. She's creating wonderful structures. She's creating a nice, happy memory from her childhood, Olaf, which will be seen later. And, then it creates a beautiful dress on top of her other beautiful dress, and just the fashion is great. It's just
she's a lot more like she's showing a little bit more skin. She's just fully she's become.
It's her rebellion. It's like not her villain song.
It's not like the villain song, but it's just like
she's not a villain.
The adolescent implication is not really. It's obvious, but. It's a great scene.
I want to mention the last line of the scene, though.
Go ahead.
Because
Go
the
ahead.
last line is the one thing that kind of bothered me. I was like, I'm accepting of this. However, I worry that some people kind of be able to take these things at less face value. We'll watch this scene, and at the end, she kind of has this line where the cold never bothered me anyway. That's her last line of the song, and I'm kind of worried. People are like really critical. People are going to say, well, now she's become kind of a cheesy pop villain. The cold never bothered me. Like, she's become Uma Thurman from Batman, who I kind of feared in that moment people would think of that. Just the way that line, it's a fine line for the song, just like now she's uber confident in that
Not
moment.
really. No, well, the thing is, it's a little bit cheeky because she's like, of course, she's completely unleashed. She can relax now, but she's alone. She never does that stuff when people are around. She's still kind of reserved. She's still she's more confident and powerful and explosive when the guards try and kill her. But she's still Elsa. She's still the same girl, but
which is wonderful.
She's less uptight, as it were.
Well, there are really no bad songs in this thing. However, there is one song that kind of, at the beginning, I'm not thrilled by it. Love is an Open Door, the first date.
I thought it was cute.
Don't get me wrong, I like it towards the end, because what all these songs have in common is they have this great musical build to them. It's like, love is an open door, when they keep, like, going up, and it's like they reach these musical highs. I love that. When they get to that, and then I'll admit making the heart with the hands is kind of cute. And it moves a lot of plot fast, and that's kind of the gag of their first date, and they're getting a lot out there. However, I think the opening bothers me because it's kind of a cheat. It's all right, really, but I'm just nitpicking. It's kind of a cheesy, slow opening. It reminds me of my most hated song ever, a little.
What? Which one?
It's from Grease.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. I like the song. I thought it was really cute because anything with Anna in it just makes it adorable. She's like, we finish each other's sandwiches. That is adorable.
That's a fun foreshadowing of this guy. He's like kind of lying to her.
Yeah.
Rewatching it, it's great. That Hans. Hans caught me completely off guard because going into this again, it might be the marketing. Like he's only in like one poster. As like a little head in the snow, because I had no idea who this guy was going into this. I was thinking, who is this guy? And I kind of liked him, too. I mean, he was acting like a superhero. Not a superhero, but he was acting heroic in that scene where he's like sparing her life. He's like saving her from the bags. I'm thinking, well, I like this guy. I wonder if this guy's going out of nowhere. He's kind of cool. Then they make him the most horrible villain, not horrible, but most villainous guy around. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, just like that really got me. Like, I didn't see that coming at all. At first, halfway through the movie, it's like, oh, they're gonna do the whole she's gonna end up with the other guy type of thing,
and it's a smart plan too, except for the part when he walks out on her before she actually knows that she's dead.
Yeah. But still, it's just she had white hair and she was freezing to death, so it was like I'm sure I can get away with it.
I want to clear up a misconception. A lot of people say, well, if he's gonna take over things, why does he say the Snow Queen? Why does he say the Snow Queen? We could just kill her there instead of saving her. Well, that's his plan.
Well, that's the thing. He's trying. If he kills her there, I mean that would break character.
Well, no, I mean I think it's I don't think it's that, Milan. I think it's he wants to try to unfreeze the place by convincing her to do so in the dungeon. Appealing to her loyalty and appealing to her niceness and saying, "Hey, listen, can you unfreeze the place?" He doesn't want her. It's a summer kingdom. He doesn't want to run an icicle. So I think that's kind of smart. That's what he's doing. That's why he doesn't kill her there. Let them kill her. And it's kind of smart in my view. That might just be me though. But yeah. Oh, the Duke of Wesselton. He's kind of funny.
Yeah, but he's a dick.
Well, you know who he's voiced by, don't you?
Who?
Alan Tudyk, King Candy.
Ah, of course. Yeah, he's just been playing assholes for a while now.
Well, he was Steve the Pirate in Dodgeball.
See?
Never trust a pirate. So anyway, she meets Kristoff. She meets Kristoff at the trading post and Sauna, which cracks me up. So she walks into the little trading post and sauna, and she sees Kristoff there all ice covered, and he looks like a snow stormtrooper walking in there. And I think the thing that was kind of bothering me, he was really rude to that shopkeeper.
Well, it's just like, yeah, I guess he was, but he's still, that's a lot of money.
Well, by the way, he directed. Yeah, it is a lot of money. He directed Bolt, by the way. Chris Williams voices Oaken the shopkeep.
I love him because it's like nobody else speaks like that. But
Summer blowout sale.
And he's like, "You're a thief," and he just gets up and is like, "What did you say to me?"
He's huge.
But he looks sad. It's just funny.
And he's so pleasant too. He's saying, "Sorry for that unpleasantness." No, can I get you boots? It's great. There's Easter eggs in this film too, like 3 I gotta point out. In that shop, you see a little Mickey Mouse figurine in that shop. You have a cameo of another princess in this film.
Really?
Yes, for the first time in forever, when she's kind of running outside the door of the castle, you'll see the backs of their heads, and like they turn aside. It's Rapunzel and Flynn from Tangled.
Really?
She has her short hair. That's why you don't instantly recognize her.
Really?
Yes, they're
Rapunzel
right
there. Oh my God!
They're right there from the first time for when she leaves the castle. When Anna, she's skipping outside the castle door. Like she passes a bunch of people, waving to people and stuff. They're right there. And
they have
also,
their backs turned though, right?
Yes, and remember when she stuffs chocolate in her face?
Mm-hmm.
That's from Sugar Rush, from Wreck-It Ralph.
What do you mean?
I mean, like the little formation of the candy. It's in the style like some architecture and the mountain, particularly from Sugar Rush.
Oh, damn! I think that's cool.
I also think there might be the ship. This one just might be me overstretching, but this one they have a ship from, I believe, Black Cauldron.
Really?
It's one of the ships that's frozen. In the end, might be.
Interesting.
But don't quote me on that one. Anyway, so she meets Chris, and she kind of, what I really love about Anna is she's just this great character, and she's klutzy, and yet she's so endearing and sweet, yet
she's a kid.
Yeah, she's unsure of herself at times. And what she does, I love when she makes the deal with Kristoff after he sings his reindeer song, which is the conceit that's how you get a talking reindeer in the film is great. He reacts as he speaks for him. It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But she basically kind of makes this. She fakes confidence to kind of, she says, "You're going to take me to the mountain." And she throws the carrots. "Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, we leave today, not tomorrow." It's great. And then Kristoff, he was raised by rock trolls. He's imperfect. Do you think
he's Rocky?
Yeah. Do you think he was abandoned?
I don't know. Maybe he's one of those orphan kids who just kind of goes along with an apprentice.
Because you see him at the beginning. He's a kid, fishing the ice with the young Sven. But I'm wondering, did his father or someone bring him out there? Then they just he ran off to join the rock trolls or something.
I don't know. It's not explained, but yeah, but
this guy's a rational guy.
He is. He's a rough and ready man of the world.
I mean, he's the guy who's us, the audience, saying, "Well, what? You were going to marry a guy after you just met him? I don't trust your judgment. Didn't your parents ever tell you about strangers?" Yes, they did.
And she kind of moves away. This whole film is filled with little. It's comedic, but it's funny. It's a funny film, but with a lot of heart to it.
Well, remember, a Wreck-It Ralph writer worked on this, Jennifer Lee.
Yeah. I heard it. I heard that. The thing with this movie, all the way through, near the very end, I was thinking Maleficent, because they're making a Maleficent movie.
Yes.
A live action one, and I'm like, that's so not. But the thing is, this halfway through the movie, you're not sure if Elsa's gonna turn out to be the bad guy of the film. But the thing is, the voice actress and the cinematography and the story is so. It's like there's a moment where you think, is she gonna be the bad guy? Because maybe this is the origin of the Snow Queen or whatever. But it's just of course, there's a happy ending because Disney film, obviously. But it's just for a while there, I thought if they're gonna do a Maleficent movie in this form, I'd like to see that one, just a Maleficent movie with it done by the same creative team, and just have a similar backstory, but everything goes horribly, horribly wrong. She turns out she's a nice girl, but just the world breaks her, and maybe you can have Satan in there just as a pretty young guy, just kind of teaching her how to use her powers and whatever. And she just not Hans, like she runs away, and like the real people that she loves are more awful, and she loses people she loves and whatever, and she just turned. And at the very end of the film, like I was expecting, how that prince had a sword above her. If this was Maleficent, you just know there's going to be a scene where she opens her eyes and they go hard, and there's like the ground opens up, and there's just like whatchamacallit, those thorns come out and wrap him in like wrap him head to toe in those thorns, and he's like screaming, and she goes like, "Oh, you want a villain? Fine, I'll give you a villain." She kind of makes a crown come out of nowhere, puts it on. I'll be the villain of the story now.
Oh boy.
And then she just the sharp barbed wire plants were like drag him off to hell, and then she becomes the villainess. That would have been a great Maleficent story. But this, it's like that's the fun. You don't know, is she gonna be a villain? Is everything gonna turn out all right? I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. But again, it's just great they don't play her. Well, I mean, there's always that dangling that tightrope that you could become a villain, because a lot of things are ending. But I like the route they went with the happy ending.
Oh yeah. It was interesting. Obviously, they're gonna go with a happy ending, but it was fascinating.
Yeah, but I want to move on to something later, if that's all right.
That's perfectly all right.
This got polarizing, not really, but polarizing for at least a few of my friends. How do you feel, Alon, about Olaf the Snowman?
Personally, at first I was like from the marketing, that's what really put me off, because I thought it's gonna be a DreamWorks, bastardization of Disney, and it was just gonna be bad, and apparently the voice actor is annoying. I thought he was gonna go like, ha, aren't I whimsical?
He had a lot of potential to be an annoying sidekick.
Oh yeah, he had the potential, but don't be fooled. He is actually quite funny and sweet, and there's this one moment where Anna and what's his name? Yeah, Kristoff. They fall off the mountain, and they just land in snow. And Kristoff says, "Oh, my head! Like I have a thick skull." And like you get the shot of Olaf, and it's like, "I don't have a skull or bones," and it's so funny. I don't know, something about that was just like you. I like you fine. You are spared. You can live.
I think it's because Josh Gad as this guy. Again, I knew nothing about Josh Gad going into this, but just Olaf the Snowman, he has this perfect timing for jokes. I mean, his perfect comedic timing and delivery.
Oh yeah, he's really funny. It's funny. He could have been annoying, but he actually turned out to be a sweet character.
Yeah, a friend of mine going into this. A friend of mine, he's an artist. He said he hated the design of Olaf from the beginning. He hated from just that advertisement, that teaser. He hated him, and I kept saying, "Oh, you can't." Again, I like the testing. I was saying, "How can you not like that cute little snowman? Come on, fella, come on." Then he's saying, "No, I hate him. I hate him. I hate him." And I'm pointing him. We go to the movie, and they're setting up this giant hula dancing Olaf the Snowman. I'm making fun of him and saying, "Hey, why don't you get a picture next to the giant hula snowman?" And after he sees the film, he likes Olaf the Snowman, but he still hates the design. I call him Snowist. They say, "You're just Snowist, you know
that." Yeah.
Oh, you like that? What do you call? Hey, you have brother Frosty over there, huh? Seeing some kids making snowmen on the street. He's
Yeah. Yeah, he just goes like, "God, go back to where you come from, snowman.
Go back to Cumulonimbus."
Yeah, we don't want your kind over here. Yeah. But you just start burning snowmen. Like, that's a hate crime. No? And then the snowmen get all together and like they have a protest and whatever. And after a long, many years of struggle and peaceful You can't keep the snowman down, basically.
Indeed. I mean, snowmen are awesome. I heard just in the description from the little thing that when this film was initially announced, I heard that there's like an Olaf the Snowman as a sidekick, and I was thinking, well, snowmen are inherently awesome. Again, eat it, Snowist. But yeah, snowmen are awesome, and just the idea of like someone as a snowman as a sidekick. Thinking, that should be interesting. Let's see how that goes. That was kind of
personally, at first, I hated the design as well. Like I was like, but now I'm like, I like the design. It looks cute.
Yeah.
I guess it's just like you just see it stand still and it looks kind of unappealing because of that weird shaped head. But when you see like the voice and the movements and the animation all come together, you're like, yeah, okay, I get it how it's supposed to work.
It's like
That's
this
cool.
great thing, almost a Mr. Potato Head-ish quality, but a snowman where, the body moves itself and, like the limbs and everything, they can move themselves. Like, someone grab my body. Let the lower part of my body, grab it.
Grab my butt. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, also my second favorite song, it's kind of a favorite song, but I think First Time Fair is the best one. In Summer. I love this
Oh
song.
yeah.
It's the perfect comedy song. It's endearing and innocent. It's got a lot of fun visuals, like the sand snowman, or the sandman, I guess would be the technical term. It's a wonderfully ironic scene, and what I love about Olaf, the character, most of all, and it's kind of really showcased in that song, is that I love this brilliant idea, to me, if you ask me, is that, he has this dream of a snowman who dreams of seeing summer. It's like kind of this bitter irony you're expecting, like, oh, this snow, he's never going to live to see summer. And it's in the song, too, like Christoph saying, you don't have a lot of he experience, do you? He says, the ending of the song is great. Like, Olaf's getting passionate about talking about summertime. He's like, the blue sky, and you guys are there. And then he says, I'm going to tell him, don't you dare. It's just Anna, she's so sweet. She's like, don't you dare spoil his delusions.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like at the end, like you're like, oh my God, Olaf is melting. We're gonna actually have he's gonna die, and like Anna's, obviously,
Elsa
not
saves
Anna,
him.
Elsa saves him.
I
Man.
know.
It's like,
I was kind of wondering if that was going to happen too. I was kind of thinking that for a moment, because in the trailer, I wish they didn't have this in the trailer. They had the whole, some people are worth melting for, which is an endearing line, but then he says, not today. Just funny, but still, I was thinking this film going into it, thinking, I wonder if they're going to go the real tragic route that, oh, he melts, but he becomes like water or something. It's like happy. I don't know. Like kind of like a poetic, like a tragic.
yeah,
It's like a tragically
yeah,
motivating, moving death. But,
yeah.
he's around this day in summer. That's kind of still a cool visual. Snowmen in summer. Good for him. So, also, I know what the best Olaf line is with that delivery we both like. I've been impaled.
Like, I've been impaled. That's so cute.
It is. And I love how the Kristoff, he admires the ice too. He says, he looks at the ice cast, oh man, I want to cry. I will not blame you. And Olaf keeps mixing up Sven and Kristoff, same thing, and Kristoff is Sven. They go to the kind of, as hard as it is to say, kind of the pointless song, with the Fixer Upper.
Yeah, that was a bit of a, like, I didn't mind it. It was just like,
It's not
like,
bad.
it's not bad. It's just for me, like it was all right. I liked it. It just seemed like they needed to put a song there, and it is, and it's, I think it's just the troll, the design, that's what the problem was for me.
It's a catchy, funny song. It's their comedy song. It's kind of like The Guy Like You from Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is my favorite. But the reason it's there, Milan, is it seeds in the relationship notion. So it's kind of pairing Kristoff and Anne together, even though they're really just kind of on a friend territory so far. And they're kind of hinting at, okay, well, obviously it's a big misunderstanding. That's why it's kind of a pointless song. Like, well, no, we're not here for that. We're here for magical advice. And it's just saying, well, yeah, you obviously have to be this girl. He's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. This girl, she's with another guy. Get rid of that guy.
It's like, oh, she's engaged. I don't see a ring on that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
put a ring on it.
The funky way he walks. It's catchy. It's melodically pleased. That's what all these songs. Remember the reprise, last song I think we have here, the reprise for The First Time in Forever, where it's really plot heavy and awesome song. Because again, that build is awesome, Milan. I love that build. If we could bottle it up and just apply it to every music every day, it's just this. Yeah, it's just this awesome build, and it's kind of it's Anna, because most of the endearing qualities of Anna. One of those endearing qualities of Anna. She, like, in that moment after that big revelation scene where you find out she has powers like Duke Wesson saying sorcery, everyone's going after. She freezes the whole kingdom. Even after that event, Anna, for not a second, she says, that's my sister. I'm going after to save her. I'm going to talk to her. She's in trouble. She instantly steals. No, she takes Han's horse. She goes to find him, and of course the horse abandons her. That's probably an evil horse too. sister, and here she's finally reached her goal. She's going to talk to her sister because she doesn't really think things through, which is, again, it's kind of a kid quality. She doesn't really think things through. And she says, yeah, let's talk to my sister. We'll meld things, even though we haven't really talked that much in many years, in fact. She's talking to her, and she's singing, basically the exposition saying, you kind of froze the kingdom. It's wonderful. Again, Kirsten Bell is this. I'm sorry, Kirsten Bell is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's...
Yeah.
Then the ending to the song is the best part, because, then it's like her saying... They're both kind of in conflict during the song, saying, I don't know what happened, you gotta save it. It's like, it's melding and melding. But then she accidentally freezes her heart. It's like this huge, like, booming, like, boom. And then the lighting turns red as that warning way in the beginning. It's like, oh no, the danger of ice is arising. This is the worst fear. Her heart's been frozen, and she, kicks him out, because she doesn't know what happened. She's saying, get out of here. Wants to be alone. The giant snow golem ushers him out.
Snow golem. I love that.
It's funny about the snow golem. Its job is just to usher them out, yet Anna, she just throws a snowman because he slaps Olaf to the side. He says, that's not nice to hit snowmen. Hey, easy, easy, easy. Crazy pants, easy. She throws it anyway, and apparently just that little snowball ticks him off. He's chasing him.
And don't come back!
And I think that's all and Elsa wouldn't command this thing to kill him, just like usher him out, and then he just took him all the way to the edge there. He chased him all the way to the edge, and he just said, don't come back, and he would have let him go. They cut their way down to the miles of snow below. And plus, did you stay till the very end, Milan?
No way.
Okay, well, at the end, there's a post-credit gag. The giant snow golem, because in the whole Let It Go song, she removes her queen tiara, her queen crown, and she throws it off one of the ice spires, and we find it landed at the very bottom, and the giant snow golem, he picks it up and he wears it. He's just kind of this moment, he goes happy, like, oh,
I'm a pretty girl.
It's a cute gag. But so we get the really awesome battle where those guys are coming in trying to kill Elsa. Anna ends with a giant chandelier after Han saves her.
Oh yeah, that fight scene was pretty cool.
You'll get it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's one of the scenes where the whole Maleficent thought came into my head. I'm like, she could very well be the bad guy of the movie, like a tragic bad guy, but one of the bad guys none the least. But yeah, anyway, let's just wrap up. This is going on for too long.
Yes, I mean, I'm kind of a sap, so I'm in the moment saying, "Oh no, Elsa! Han, save her! Come on, man!"
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, after Olaf, he's basically kind of saved the day after risking melting to save Anna. We realize, okay, so after everyone's got their revelations, which is better done than in other films, just they kind of realize after Sven talks them into it, say, "Hey, listen. You gotta go kiss your true love. You're the actual true love, stupid. Go on, go find the girl." They're going back there, and Anna's in trouble, so it's really kind of this race against the clock, because she's really freezing by the second. And everyone's out on the ice, so Hans is out on the ice. He's about to kill Elsa this moment where she kind of becomes saddened by the fact that, oh no, my sister's quote-unquote died, as she thinks. And then, the ice stops for a moment. It's really lightening up. And then, in this moment, because I thought they were going to go the Shrek direction, which is what I feared. I would have accepted it because the film for his enemy has so much good stuff so far. But I kind of fear it's going to devolve into Shrek. Oh, it's always about true love's kiss, blah, blah, blah. Every Shrek film, it always involves true love's kiss. But they subvert that in the most wonderful ways. Yes,
and Anna kisses Elsa, and then she falls, and it's awesome.
Well, not exactly.
Yeah, that happens. That actually happens.
And
that's
it doesn't happen.
Yeah, yes, it does. It's the first homosexual kiss done by Disney.
Yeah.
Sure, it's by two sisters, but still, you can. Pickers can't be choosers. Goodbye, everyone. This has been your friend. And
Hold everything. I want to get on the trolley. Hold on.
All right, fine.
Hey,
they don't kiss, sigh.
I thought they were gonna go. It looked like they might have been going for that, though. I'll give you that, the hands on the face of the action. But getting serious with the moment, this wonderful moment where Anna, this moment where she can run to Kristoff get the true love's kiss, but she, in that moment, she risks everything to save her sister, just say stop. And, she freezes completely. So frozen, in fact, the sword itself breaks. And then, in this so breathtaking scene, everything goes quiet. The snow completely stops. Elsa sees her sister Anna completely frozen solid. Everything stops. It's so quiet, you can hear a pin drop, quite literally. Then Olaf delivers a line. Anna? It's just like everything is dead, and then Elsa is crying over her lost sister. And her hands on her face, and just like, it's just this big thing of regret. I'm like, this is my fault. I'm so sorry. I never meant this. But then this action of love, this Elsa and Anna. Anna learns the true meaning of love. She hasn't really known because she hasn't had many people around her. She sacrificed herself for a true thing of love. That's the one most wonderful message you can say. Or film. That's what real love is. It's love for a sister. Not a moment in this film did she dislike her sister at all, even though she did some questionable things. It was really just a misunderstanding. She was smart enough emotionally to know this is a misunderstanding. I gotta fix this. Mm. And it's wonderful. She unthaws, and then the sister gets control of her powers, unthaws everything. Our villain gets a comeuppance punch, which is cheered on by rich people. Mm-hmm. Then our Duke of Wesselton, or Weaselton, as he appropriately is, he called away, no trade for you, sir. Olaf gets his little snow.
It's a happy ending all around.
Indeed, it is. It's absolutely wonderful. And they even have like a nice bit of it. So the relationship isn't just killed off because it wasn't true love's kiss. They're still like each other. They didn't get married or anything. But she makes him the ice delivery guy, which is a nice gesture. And they like each other. And they kiss. And
they still kiss. That's all good.
That's nuts.
Anyway, this is a good movie. What's your rating?
My rating is a 5 wintry ice blast out of 5, or a 5 out of a frozen 5. This is a winter wonderful film. I cannot recommend this. I literally cannot recommend this any more highly.
Yes, I recommend it quite a lot as well. But personally, I love the ending, and the ending was a cute ending and all that stuff. I loved it, but it would have been a lot more interesting if it ended on a darker note and a more of a tragic note and actually had her become the Snow Queen, as it were. But it's still a really great movie. The songs are amazing, the visuals are fantastic, the characters are lovable and, really well animated.
The ice animation, the effects in the ice animation are also
oh yeah, it's fantastic. But anyway,
it's a magical experience.
It is. I give it 5, 4.5 sentient snowman out of 5. And this has been your friend and compatriot Milanjeftic 1992 here with
Blue Dragon 5. Stay frosty, people.
Indeed.